Hello and welcome to Thomas Geiger Car. Today with the Genesis G80 electrified, the electric flagship of Hyundai's luxury sister brand. While Mercedes with the EQS, Tesla with the Model S, and most of all Lucid with the Air are going a very futuristic way in the top luxury segment, Genesis is sticking to the traditional, to the conventional form with a very classic design of a traditional three-box sedan. If you want to know how the chances for this car are and what to expect from the vehicle that will hit the market later that summer, join me on my first test drive and I'll tell you more about it. Looking closer at the vehicle, there are only limited design clues that make the difference between the ICE model and the electric version. Most of all, it's the closed grille with this diamond-shaped decor and the charging bonnet beneath it. And it is a different set of wheels and tires and a different detailing in colors and in the interior. But most of all, it is a very elegant, very luxurious, but very traditional three-box sedan that is unmistakably recognizable as a Genesis, with these quad lights here, with the indicators and the air intakes, or at least the fake air intakes here, and with the quad lights at the rear as well. There's one more detail worth a look at the exterior style of the Genesis G80 electrified: the roof. If you look closer, you see it's not a traditional sunroof or a panoramic roof as we have them so many times in luxury limousines. No, it is a solar panel mounted to the roof, harvesting the sun and collecting every bit of energy that you can get, especially if it's for free. It doesn't bring you too far, but a few extra miles on a sunny day aren't too bad. It is free, it is beautiful, and it is a limited bit that adds up to quite a few if you drive in a sunny area like California or southern France. There is sadly no frunk in the Genesis G80. Since the car is a converted ICE model, Genesis has just replaced the 4- and 6-cylinder petrol or diesel engines with two electric motors, one in the back, one in the front, both of same capacity, both delivering 136 kilowatts equals 185 horsepower and totals to 370 horsepower. And every motor delivers 350 Newton meters of torque, which is instantly applied, meaning this car goes like a rocket. Like all the electric vehicles, it is silent and it is quick. And how it drives, that's something we're gonna figure out in a second. Since the G80 is a luxury limousine mainly designed for chauffeur purposes, we're gonna start our test drive in the backseat, and we realize there is lots of room and lots of comfort. But there are some differences between this car, the fully electric, dedicated electric luxury limousines, and the ICE limousines, and that's mainly the height of the floor. I can't put my feet down too far, meaning I have not the most comfortable seating position with pretty high knees. That is due to the battery that is mounted in the floors. Other than that, everything is pretty fine. I have lots of leg room, I have lots of knee room, and I still have enough headroom. Not a surprise with a vehicle that is measuring more than 5 meters in length. If we look around to the color and trim, it is pretty standard, pretty luxurious, but new material. To underline the environmentally friendly approach of the electric vehicle, Genesis has chosen a bit of a different material quality for the electric version. So yes, we have lots of leather, we have some wood, but we also have recycled materials, vegan materials, everything that makes you feel good and makes you feel confident in saving the planet. Beyond that, we have a beautiful, not the biggest, but very competitive infotainment system. We have our own air condition system, seat heating, and one gimmick that I'm really proud of because I really like it: you can adjust the back seat, the front seat of the passenger from the back in a very easy way. So you don't have to ask the driver if you want to have more leg room or something like that. It's just a touch of a button, everything easy, everything fine. Finally, we've moved to the driver's seat of the G80 electrified and realizing instantly the car is an interesting blend between old style and new technology. That's not only due to the powertrain, no, it's also due to the infotainment, the operating system, the look and feel of the whole car. On the one hand, everything is looking pretty traditional, pretty conventional. A hood over these, the combi instrument, a small display here, traditional, gorgeous, all looking very detailed with lots of craftsmanship, but old style. Not to compare with the fancy look of a Mercedes EQS with that big hyperscreen, or the pureness of a Tesla Model S or a Lucid Air. But if you take a closer look, you realize that's a huge touchscreen with a pretty fancy and pretty well working operating system. And if you look into the cluster instrument, which is fully digitalized and with some fancy 3D effects, you also see the most interesting feature the Koreans offer electronic wise at the moment, a camera that opens your eyes towards the rear. So once you set the indicator, the camera on the side where you're indicating switches on and you see what's going on behind the car without turning your head. So there is no dead angle, nothing hidden anymore, and no pedestrians or bikers in danger anymore. So once again, indicating to the left, and you see here there is a big screen popping up showing you the camera view from the left. If you indicate to the right, again a screen popping up showing you the rear view of the car. The drive itself is smooth and silky as you'd expect it from a luxury limousine, and there's power, lots of power. Acceleration from 0 to 100 is done in 4.9 seconds. That is sports car figures. Top speed is not that high, it's a bit above 220 kilometers per hour, still enough to compete with Mercedes, BMW and Audi, not enough to compete with the ICE engines or with Tesla and Lucid. Beyond that, you have a very smooth yet precise steering and an adaptive suspension that kind of puts you on a magic carpet and you ride like you're sitting on a cloud. And if an electric vehicle would not be quiet enough, Genesis has also installed an active noise cancellation system, making the ride even quieter, even smoother, even more magic. Let's also spend some words on the technology. Even if this car is looking pretty old-fashioned and is using a traditional ICE platform, Genesis has making use of the most advanced technology that is available on the EV market at now. So they're making use of the electric architecture that Hyundai, Genesis and Kia has developed for their cars like Ioniq 5, EV6 and the GV60, the first dedicated EV of the luxury sister brand. That means we also have 800 volts technology in this car, and the battery has a size of 87 kilowatt hours, translating to a range of roughly 520 kilometers. And it's not only the huge range that is a big advantage for the vehicle, no, it is also the high charging power and the short charging stops. The vehicle charges with 250 kilowatts, giving you the 10 to 80% jump in a bit more than 20 minutes. So really competitive and state-of-the-art technology, even in a very old-fashioned styling. Thanks for joining me on that first ride with the Genesis G80 electrified, a car that takes a totally different approach towards the electric avenue. While Mercedes, BMW and Audi and Tesla and Lucid and all the other luxury brands are doing it pretty fancy in the exterior and most of all in the interior, Genesis is delivering a traditional luxury limousine in the old style, just with new technology. So if you're a bit conservative, if you like the old way, this car is the way to drive towards the future.